What are the cultural issues that the church must contend with to engage more effectively within the lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender community?
I'm going to break that question into a two-part answer. The cultural issues the church must contend with in relating to the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender community at large. And then secondly, the cultural issues that the church must deal with in dealing with the gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender Christian community. First, the church has not only participated in, but often led in the cultural shaming, the lack of understanding of sexual orientation and gender identity, and even the most basic understanding of what gender and sex are. The inaccurate stereotyping of and the discrimination against the gay and transgender community that has caused a faction in society, in politics, in family, and in faith communities. It's been a terrible, destructive waste of human energy on both sides of this equation. And I evaluate the work that people say is done in the name of God very, very simply. Does it bring life and love, or does it bring destruction and fear? Much of what comes from the church, conservative church, towards the gay and lesbian and bisexual and transgender community falls into that destruction and fear category, and that's a problem. People are then repelled by the concept of a loving God and a gracious Jesus that we are, as Christians, called to represent. So, out the door goes the discipleship making, because people aren't interested in looking at the God we follow, the Jesus we try to emulate. Gay people are similar to heterosexual people in all things except they have a persistent, prolonged, emotional, romantic, and a sexual attraction to the same sex. That's it. Everything else is the same. Every medical and psychological professional organization states that a homosexual orientation is a normal variation of human sexuality. But the conservative church has been resistant to this message. The discriminatory and fear-fueled banter that worked in the 90s when the religious right set its sights on gay issues and the majority of the population did not know a gay person, that worked. But most of us now know gay people, so the stereotypes that we've heard before are no longer resonating with us. Gay people are our brothers and our sisters, our children and our parents, our co-workers and our friends. They're sitting next to us at church, they're sitting next to us in the pews, and we love them. So when conservative churches try to tell us that gay and transgender people are reprobate and abominations and terrible people, it doesn't align with what we now experience in our own lives. My life verses are Isaiah 58, 6 through 12. And in those verses, we are told to fight against oppression and injustice, along with caring for the poor and the homeless. We seem to have missed these key points in the Bible and placed far too much emphasis on people and not invested time to even understand these people that we're criticizing. Never mind have compassion and suffer alongside of them. We most often tell them to choose Jesus or choose being gay. They can't choose or turn off being gay or even transgender, but what we each do with Jesus, now that's a choice. Now the second part of the question, in the terms of the gay and transgender Christian community, it's all of the items I just mentioned, and then there's this profound, deep, and irreversible, often irreversible damage that's done with the messaging that they must either change or deny their sexual orientation to please God, or they're not loved by God if they don't change. We're driving people that want to participate in Christian experience away from our churches. The conservative church has not only failed miserably in doing the 3 jobs that we were asked specifically to do. We are called to love and serve and make disciples. But we've actually done damage to people who once did follow Jesus or would like to follow him. And to add insult to injury, we mock and accuse people when they participate in behaviors associated with the shaming and the rejection that we have caused in their lives. We need to start educating ourselves about sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, sex, and even what gender are. We need to meet and listen to gay and transgender people and stop forming our theology based on lies, inaccurate readings of the scripture, and people that we don't even know. The conservative church is stuck in the 1970s in a black hole of ignorance on the gay and transgender issues. They don't even understand these issues, even the most basic concepts of them. Until we seek understanding with accurate information about a class of people that is readily available on the internet and in books, and we read the scripture in context of that understanding of science and sociology and relationships, we're going to continue to damage and cause damage to people whose only fault is they're not like the majority. So I'm hoping to encourage you to do some research, to get to know some gay people. And the key, as I always say, is relationship. I'm Kathy with CanyonWalkerConnections.com.